Obviously, it's been a while since we kind of caught up. I think it was it September last year, August
Yeah,
last year?
I think so. Yeah. Just after when things were starting to get back a bit to normal.
So I thought we'd do a bit of a catch-up kind of thing and see how you're going. So first of all, like, how's it all been kind of since the third lockdown, training-wise?
Yeah, I mean, obviously after the first lockdown, when I spoke to you, I was coming back in, sparring loads. Then I was looking at fights. Fights were getting cancelled, and these behind closed doors shows, I was getting really frustrated because I was sparring week in, week out, sort of clocking up between 20 and 30 rounds of sparring per week. So then I went away while things were quiet, done a couple of army courses, done my PTI course and done a promotion course. And I've been back in the gym about 2.5 months now, and again, sparring week in, week out. Honestly, over the last 2 months, I've done about 200 rounds of sparring, and I'm just begging, hanging out to fight. You know, I just want to fight badly, and it's just one of them things that is just proving difficult in the under the current climate and how things are.
So, you mentioned obviously about the shows that have gone on, and they've been pretty much BT, Hennessy and Matchroom, so obviously priority goes to those kind of guys. So, how frustrating from your point of view that, obviously small hall's not kind of happening at the moment and probably isn't until maybe July, August?
Yeah, it's really frustrating because you've got us guys down there, and like I say, in the last 2 months I've done about 200 rounds of sparring. I'm sparring more than ever, and I'm on top form. The plan was, up until COVID, I've been a pro for a year when COVID hit, going into my second year, and the plan was always I'm on 4 fights, 4 wins. The plan was to get to 6 fights, get in a position to box for a title, and then when I was in position to box for a title, I wanted to call someone out ranked in the top 10. And ideally, I had in my mind I was going to call out Chris Billam-Smith. We were ex-amateur rivals, and he was somebody I was going to call out. I boxed him in 2014 in the ABAs. I beat him. He's been a pro longer than me. You know of him, yeah, he's really successful, Commonwealth champion, and he's somebody that I was going to call out when I got to my 6 fights. And now I feel like I'm in a position there, I just have to call him out now. Like, that's somebody I want to fight now. I mean, he could turn around and be like, well, he's 13 fights, 12 wins, 1 loss, and he's won 10 of them by knockout. He could turn around and be like, he's only had he's only had 4 fights, but then forget about only having 4 fights. I had 69 amateur fights. I'm an England Elite ABA champion. I don't need to fight these journeymen. It's a waste of my time. I feel like it's a waste of my supporters' time. People are coming up to watch me. I don't need to fight these journeymen. I learned one big lesson since I've turned pro, and that was in my debut, where I was still boxing a bit like an amateur. My second fight went into a 6-rounder. I stopped him in the 5th, and then my 2 fights after that, both 6-rounders, I won every round. I'm ready to step up. My next fight, my 5th fight, I was going to step up to an 8-rounder, then I was going to step up to a 10-rounder. I'm doing 10 rounds now, every session I come in. I'm ready to step up to a fight like that. And Chris Billam-Smith, me and him would make a great fight. We're ex-rivals in the amateurs. I beat him in the amateurs. It'd be a chance for him to avenge a loss, and for me, it'd be a chance for me to box somebody ranked in the top 10. And I'm not, I'll sit here confident, and it's not the fact that I think I'm at that level. I think I'll beat him. I almost know I'll beat him. Almost go so far to say that he's a strong boxer, yeah? He keeps his shape well. I'm not saying he's a crap boxer or anything like that. I respect him a lot. He lives up to his name, which is the gentleman he is. We get on really well. He holds his shape well for 10 rounds, but he's limited. But me, I know I'm a tricky boxer, I'm a tricky customer. I've not got a one-punch knockout specialist like he is, but I know with my work rate, I'd go so far to say over 10 rounds I'd stop him. And so, getting around to it, this is what I want. I want to fight people like that. I don't want to fight these journeymen. And Chris, if you're there, mate, if you're watching this, let's make it happen. Yeah, like, I'm sat here and I'm 4 fights in. Obviously, he's with Eddie Hearn now, Matchroom boxing. Everybody wants to box on them shows, okay? Every aspiring pro boxer should want to box on them shows. And some people would say that's where the money is. I'm not bothered about money. I'm a serving soldier. That pays for my living, and I'm a family man. I've got 3 kids. That pays for my life. So I'd fight Chris Billam-Smith for free. I just want, I'm going to be honest here in saying that I'm going to be 34 this year. I'm not over the hill by any means. I'm in the best shape I've ever been in. But because of the way things are with COVID and that, I don't want to miss the train. I just want the opportunity to be able to showcase what I've got. I want a real fight with a real fighter. I don't want to box these journeymen.
So I suppose, we've briefly touched upon it on off camera. It's like, for you, it's a good opportunity. If you manage to box someone like Chris, and he's a very talented fighter. But playing devil's advocate, what do you think he would gain from fighting you, that's you know, he might turn around and say, you know, I'm levels above you or I'm 2 ahead.
Yeah, which you could turn around and say that. And when people have said to me about Chris before, I've turned around and said to them, look, I'm in no position to call out somebody like Chris, because back when I was having these interviews, I was like, I'm a 4-round fighter or I'm a 6-round fighter. But at the end of the day, I'm ready to step up to that now. That was when things were different. This was before COVID. This is when, you know, Johnny Edwards, my manager, was navigating me up nice and sensible. Now we've wasted a year. Like I say, things are cracking on now and I'm ready to fight. I know I'm at that level, like to box people like that over 10 rounds. I spar 10 rounds week in, week out. I know I'm ready for that. And he could say that, but then Chris knows that I'll be coming to win. He knows I'll be turning up to win. He knows, like I say, we've sparred loads. Like the last time we sparred was in McGuigan's gym in London. That was 2018. He was a pro then, he was an established pro. We sparred 6 rounds. There were 6 interesting rounds, okay? Obviously he could turn around and say, yeah, I don't need to box you, but I know he wants to box Tommy McCarthy for the European, I believe, yeah. But I've not seen anything come of that since that happened. Why not me and him have a dust up? Doesn't even have to be for a title. 2 southern lads, English dust up, why not? Do you know what I mean? Why not make something happen in that spare time? Because I've not seen anything generated from what he wants with Tommy McCarthy.
Yeah, it's an interesting point. I don't think he's got a fight booked, and because he holds the Commonwealth, doesn't he?
Yes.
But then Eddie Hearn is mentioned about fight camp coming up in July, August. I mean,
Yeah.
if he hasn't got a fight then, you know, hopefully he could see this and may consider an 8-10 rounder or something.
Yeah, I mean, and that would be amazing. And at the end of the day, I'm in a position now where I wouldn't even care if I'm going somewhere to fight in the away corner. Do you know what I mean? Even if it was a last minute fight, I don't need a training camp. I've been in training camp. I'm a physical training instructor in the British Army. My job is to stay fit. I'm always fit. I'm always in camp. I'm always here sparring. Like, I'm ready to go all the time. I'll take a fight with Chris next week. Do you know what I mean? I don't need like a 10-week camp. So if someone pulled out of a fight with Chris or say another top cruiserweight, last minute, I'll be more than happy to step in and fight somebody on a show like that. I'm ready. I just want to take whatever opportunity it is. Like I said, I don't want to miss the train. Because this pandemic and this whole new Indian variant coming in, things are looking on the up. Arenas are sort of starting to open back up. I don't know if you saw the Brit Awards, there's loads of people there. There's been like a couple of festivals going on which have been like tests and stuff like that. Things are starting to happen, but who knows what's going to happen. So I just don't want to miss the train. I just want to showcase what I've got and have a real fight against a real fighter.
So essentially as well, you know, you're putting yourself out there. Any last minute dropouts, you'd be willing to
100%,
take that call?
100%, yeah. 100%, and I'm gonna, like I say, since the plan was when I turned pro, I didn't go. I just won the ABAs. I knew that me and John, we could have signed with somebody, like a good promoter, whoever it could have been. There's plenty out there, okay, but we didn't because you hear about people getting locked down with one promoter and then they don't box that much in their first year. Because I won the ABAs at 30 years old, I wanted to crack on. So I was like, right, I'll stay open. I'll box as many fights as I can in my first year. I had 4, 3 were cancelled, so that would have been 7. And then the plan was to get up to sort of 6, 7, 8 fights with a title around my waist and then sign with somebody. So when you're boxing 10, 12 round fights, you don't mind only having 2 a year. But because of COVID, that's thrown a spanner in the works. And that's why I'm sat here sort of projecting what I am now.
And just to clarify, you know, you're not interested in 4, 6 rounds anymore?
No, I'm not. And like, don't get me wrong, I'd fight whoever, any amount of rounds, but I feel it's a waste of my time. I don't need to box journeymen. I want to fight real fighters. You know, me and Chris, we've fought before. And like I say, it'd be for him, it'd be an opportunity to avenge a loss. Okay, there's loads of history between me and Chris. It would be a great fight. It could be generated into a great fight. And for me, it'd be an opportunity to box somebody ranked in the top 10. Yeah.
That being said, it's not like you're trash talking Chris here. This is purely business. Because like you said, you've got a good relationship with Chris.
Yeah. No, we've, like I said, you know, we've years ago we shared a car. He come and picked me up from Aldershot and we shared a car going up to Sheffield on a Team GB training camp, and then we shared a hotel room for the weekend, and we get on really well, and we was having ding dong sparring all that weekend, but we get on really well, and he lives up to his nickname. He's a gentleman, but he knows as well as I know Chris, he knows me. It's a fight game. When the bell goes, when it comes down to the business of fighting, you got to do what you've got to do, and you know, me and Chris would be a great fight.
Cool. Well, hopefully that can materialise. You know, any final message for Eddie or Chris before we go?
Yeah, I mean, Chris, if you're up for it, I'm going to send you a message after this anyway. I'm going to try and reach out to Eddie Hearn, whether that actually gets in front of him and he reads it or not is another story. But it'd be a great fight. You know it'd be a great fight, Chris. I'm going to try it, I'm going to message you, I'm going to reach out to you, and hopefully we can generate something if you're up for it. Why not? Avenge your loss and give me an opportunity to fight somebody ranked in the top 10. Also, just like to give a quick mention to my sponsors. Got Team Crunk, TMP Diving, Veteran Locksmiths, HubFit app, First Class Roofs, and the BOXIN Collective. Obviously, always big thanks for your support, the British Army as well. But my sponsors, you know, I've just done all my annual prerequisites, my brain scan, my medical, I've had my jabs, we're getting my eye test next week, and I've got other stuff going on for my annual prerequisites, and that's all with help from my sponsors. A big shout out to them, and big shout out to my regiment, 27 Regiment, and 27 Gymnasium as well.
And your social media, so people can follow you?
Yeah, so CHEZ NIHELL, a professional boxer on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. Give me a follow, and hopefully we see a bit more of this get generated. And cheers for having a chat with us, Stu.
No worries, mate. Cheers.
Wicked.